Bittensor is once again telling all of us that the halving is coming soon, so let's discuss it in today's video. Hey guys, Foxy is Trading here, back with another crypto video for you guys, and we are back talking about Bittensor. Now today's video, I want to break down what the halving is, when it's going to happen, and then we're going to look at market structure at the end of the video. And the market structure is looking quite good, so stay tuned for that. Okay, so on November 25th, they tweeted Bittensor emissions halving mid-December. Now, they didn't tell us the exact time, but they did say mid-December. Now, I'm not sure after whatever this is, but, right, I don't know what but we will probably know in December when it really will be. But I want all of you guys to understand what it is, why it is important, okay? So, the Bittensor halving, it will be a scheduled event where the block rewards for miners get cut in half, right? Pretty self-explanatory. Halving, get cut in half. So just like Bitcoin, Bittensor has a fixed emissions schedule. Over time, the number of new Tau that is entering the market, it decreases. So this makes Tau more scarce, which often increases interest and price because less supply is being created every day. So just think of it very logically. If your family or yourself has 10 oranges, right? And all of the sudden, 5 of them get taken away. Well, now you have less oranges and they become more valuable to you because you have less of them, right? It's a weird analogy, but I hope you understand that having something less in the market means that it becomes more of a demand and more impacted by price, and price usually goes up by it. So reducing the Tau supply, it will increase scarcity, right? Which will in turn raise price. And this happens all the time. If you look at past data for other cryptos, almost every single time there is a halving, price usually goes up. There will be stronger tokenomics, right? Token economics, because a decreasing emission rate usually makes the Tau's inflation predictable and also controllable, okay? Similar kind of to Bitcoin's long-term design, Tau is kind of following that, right? It's going to increase the mining competition. There's going to be a better alignment with AI. So really, halvings for companies and for projects are almost always a good thing, and everybody is kind of hoping and waiting for it. So December is going to be a very interesting time for Bittensor. Now, looking at CoinMarketCap before we get into market structure, price is up, market cap is slightly down, volume is slightly down, but that's not surprising because it is Black Friday weekend. And I do also want to say happy Thanksgiving to everybody. I should say it's Thanksgiving weekend, not Black Friday weekend. I'm just thinking about the deals. And I want to say I'm thankful for everybody, thankful for you guys being here. So we are still 82% bullish on the community sentiment. I do want to raise that up because Tau is a strong project. So let's get that closer to 90 on all the big exchanges, pretty much. So let's look at market structure, shall we? So what did I have drawn up, right? We had this weekly fair value gap. We are now in the fair value gap and we did not close below it. Whoops, we did not close below it right over here, right? We stayed above. Okay, cool. Let's drop down to the daily time frame. What are we seeing? We see that we have a daily fair value gap right over here, right? Let me mark that out for you guys. We have a daily fair value gap that has been respected in the past. All throughout here, price was respected and it was not breaking below. Once we broke below, price pushed and went into the next zone, because as we know, price moves from zone to zone, from zone to liquidity, from liquidity to liquidity. It doesn't go to areas that are random. It goes to areas that make sense. Now, things change when you get to all-time highs, but that is a completely different story, and we'll talk about that when that happens, if that happens, buying pressure, all that stuff. So right now, let's focus on what we have in front of us. So what we have in front of us is us pushing from the weekly fair value gap to the upside. Now, what do we want to see as Bittensor holders, right? Well, we want to see a closure above this high and then eventually closing above our daily fair value gap, because that will confirm to us that we are pushing bullish. Now, I do want to say, anybody that was listening to my video last week and purchased in this zone, good on you. You made a good investment at a very strong low, at a discounted price, in an area that has been supported in the past, and you know more likely than not will not get broken, right? And will not be pushing to the downside. So you're confident in your investment. And I still think it is a good buying opportunity for everybody, right? We are still sub 300, and I still think this is a very, very strong moment for everybody to buy. Now, maybe some of you are going to be saying already, we are pushing into a bullish direction. Because why? You're thinking that because we have a high here that was formed, followed by a higher high, right? You are correct in that logic. However, we have not reclaimed a previous high, right? This high is not a higher high from anywhere. It is a lower high from that area. So one higher high from our previous lower high does not mean we are in a bullish trend. A bullish trend that I would want to see and I would feel more confident in is if we reclaim this high and then consolidate in the fair value gap, maybe for a couple of hours, most likely, hopefully, and then push to the upside. But right now, there is nothing truly telling us that we can't still see this, right? This move is not a change in structure, right? We are not fully bullish just yet. So we want to see closure above this area. Now, does that mean you shouldn't be buying? No, because we are in a strong zone, right? So you know price is not going to go below it. Most likely, more likely than not, right? I don't see it going below. Now, maybe some of you are wondering, well, we didn't really reaccumulate this manipulation candle, right? Some altcoins completely swept it. Some barely even got to it. Tau is on the verge, or I should say on the side of the altcoins that barely have reaccumulated this manipulation candle. And every altcoin will be different, right? Because Tau is in a strong zone right over here, and this manipulation candle swept previous liquidity, I wouldn't see price going all the way below it. Is it possible? It is, right? Anything is possible in this market, but it is unlikely. We want to be following the things that are likely. And to me, what is likely is 2026 giving us a bull run season and an altcoin season, okay? Now, it's going to be reliant on how Bitcoin closes, but you know, if Bitcoin closes in a correct way, we filled the CME gap, I really think that the altcoin season will be coming shortly. And my guess and my hope is 2026 because, as you all know, we have been trending to the downside, right? Bittensor a little bit less than other coins. Bittensor has kind of been trading in a box. Since April, it's gone from this, right? Very, very easy to see. You can almost use this entire area as a zone of resistance, okay? So, yes, it hasn't been a bad trading, let's just say, year for Tau, but we have still went from a high, right, to a low and a push to the downside. So what we want to see in 2026 is this high being taken and giving us a new high, taking out this liquidity and pushing to the upside. That's why I think the $800 mark is not crazy at all to see in 2026. We just need the market to finally start giving us some bullish patterns, okay? And that will start with high above here and a closure above here. And then when we get to there, we can start looking more to the left over here where our zones will be. And there are many zones that we will be testing, right? We can see that this zone is quite strong. We tested price here for 2, almost 3 days, and then it gave us that push to the downside, which would mean if we close above, more likely than not, this liquidity will be swept. But when price gets there, we will be discussing it. I don't want to ever push too far ahead. I know a lot of you guys actually like asking about future price predictions, and I really don't like giving predictions too far ahead in the market because nobody has a crystal ball, right? I like showing you guys where market is now, where zones are now, and predicting in the near future where I think price could go based on how the market is moving, because market is manipulated, right? It could be $800 in 3 weeks if it really wanted to. Anything is possible. That's why I don't like giving predictions too far in the future, and I would prefer to just give them in today's time. So you guys know my breakdown, my view. Buying Tau at $300, still very strong. If you want to wait maybe for it to go a little bit down, you can. Do I necessarily think it's going to go down? Not really, right? It's kind of interesting what Bitcoin's going to do. And I really want it to have its move already because it's accumulated in this weekly fair value gap. And I think that a closure above is going to give us a push to the upside, or a closure below is going to give us a push to the downside and maybe take out liquidity before giving us the true push, right? So we are kind of still in a 50-50 zone. I want December to be a good month, strong month for altcoins, and hopefully push even further up. So if you guys enjoyed this quick little breakdown update, make sure you guys like the video, comment Tau, comment if you have any questions. If you're holding Tau to the moon, let me know in the comments below. Hit the subscribe button. It really does mean a lot to me. Make sure you guys do your own research because I'm not a financial advisor, and I'll see everybody in the next video.